Hey up everybody, it's that time once again for gameplay reviews, where I take a game and I'll play it for an hour or so and then edit it down and give you my honest opinion at the end. And if these videos are helpful or of any interest to you, then do go ahead and hit them like and subscribe buttons. It really does help the channel. And finally, with all that out of the way, I give you... You know when you get a game that basically kind of surprises you and you're like, okay, and you think it's going to go in one direction but then skates to a different direction and then surprises you more. Basically, that's this game, FastHands. It's actually quite cool. Okay, so there is multiplayer, race, flex, brutal. Not going to deal with that as usual right now. There's generate random, obviously what that is. And then you got these. These are actual like season courses type things. Then you got different places that you can have your surroundings. It's yeah, I like it. This is my favorite so far, but I have to admit, you gotta get a kick out of that. Probably have to be here to, you know, appreciate it more. So the game, when you get into it, is a set of runs, but there's a story that goes with it, and it just gets weird. There is more coming. These anomalies basically are like you go into them and it is like a story and it opens up and you have to go and do things and jump and there's so much to do. Okay, so let me show you a little, you know, run. Go, go, go! So how you actually control it is there are times where you can shoot at things and this pinch and then fire. You pull it back kind of. To run, you can either point forward or just basically do with your hands. I actually do a combination of both and it, oh shit, it kind of like works for me. You can go backwards. If you want to stop on a dime, clench both hands. To jump, you fling your hands in the air. To glide, you kind of like point them like that and you'll actually glide. Oh, I don't know. New message.
Check your level select screen. I have a new anomaly for you to explore.
Oh, here we go. Let's have a look at the anomaly. Yeah, anomaly, and it's there. Look. Okay. You want weird? Go, go, go! Let me give you weird. Okay, so that's the anomaly. Oh, it's cool, but I would have preferred. There we go. To actually fall into something. This is the anomaly thing.
I'm seeing structures that demonstrate alignment and repetition.
Right.
The anomalies are becoming more refined.
They are.
And that requires a designer. A hacker, maybe?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Hexagonal structures.
Whoa.
Ganymede 2.0 doesn't include these primitives in its code. We're looking at low-level quantum manipulation. That certainly narrows down the list of suspects.
That's it. Oh, no, that's not.
I'm fortunate there's a speed boost ahead. Without it, I wouldn't make the jump to the furthest platform.
Right.
If I start to overshoot, I can always grip with both hands for an emergency stop.
Yeah, for an emergency stop. Let's do this. Did I actually do it? Whoosh! Let me go through. Whoa! No! Shit! Well, as you could probably guess from the reaction that I had in that video, FastHands is actually quite good fun. I didn't think it would be. I thought, this is going to be a subpar kind of like just basically running around jumping over things type experience, but it wasn't. I'm happy to say it's actually a little bit more. There's a little bit of a story in there. There's a few things that are happening. There's some bonus levels that you can unlock once you've done enough runs. And, you know, there's changes to the surroundings, which I thought was pretty cool. There are quite a few different features you can unlock for actually getting around, like the gliding, you got the jumping, you got the like sliding. It's all basically here that you'd expect from a game like this. In fact, there's bits that I didn't expect, like the shooting, and there are like things to shoot eventually. Going into the game, you kind of like get a feel that it's quite basic and there's not really that much to do apart from run through a couple of like courses. But on my second playthrough, it then opened up, and subsequently after that it opened up a bit more and more, and then you get these anomalies unlocking, which pretty well opens up the whole game to these missions. And once you've completed missions, as I said, you unlock other things. You can even do multiplayer, and you can even do like random maps. And there's also the option of continuous levels where you just, continue. I feel like it's kind of necessary to mention the controls on this one, as it's a fundamental part of the actual game. I was, as like most games that I play, tempted to overlook and just go straight past the tutorial. I would recommend you not do this, as this will help you control and figure out different things with your character. Like if I skipped, I wouldn't know that clenching both fists would basically stop you right there wherever you are. And trust me, I did actually use this quite often. Luckily enough, I can report that the actual controls are quite tight. It does take a bit of getting used to, trust me. And where there are combinations of different ways of doing things, I actually felt it more comfortable pressing forward on the actual joystick and running motion with my hands. I'm not sure why I did it this way, as they both do the same thing, but I kind of like felt a bit more comfortable doing it this way. But anyway, the controls are pretty solid, but they do take a bit of getting used to, especially as they add new things as you go along as well. This also could be technically classed as almost like an exercise game, considering, well, it knackered me out, let's put it that way. Graphically, while it's not the most sharpest or really that much of anything, to be honest with you, it still actually looks quite pretty, and I think the addition of the different like looks was pretty cool. I just wasn't a fan of the falling and not actually falling anywhere until you actually went back into the main game bit and fell to the platform. I think I would have rather, and I'm not quite sure why they didn't do this, fall towards the ground of what was underneath me and then get catapulted onto a platform. I'm guessing the reason why they didn't do this because probably make a lot of people sick. Sound wise is kind of basic, but not. There is music in there. I turned it down obviously for copyright reasons. It was decent enough, but the actual sounds themselves are all the sounds you'd think that this sort of game would make. I'm not even quite sure why I'm even covering the sound. It is what you'd think would be there, and it's done to a pretty high quality. If I had to score this one, then I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. I'll be definitely going back to it. I'll be definitely interested to see where they actually take it from here and what they actually add in the future. And you know what? It's actually quite reasonably priced as well. So in conclusion, I do actually recommend this one for all those parkour lovers out there. And with that, if you've enjoyed this video, do hit them like and subscribe buttons. Until next time, keep on jumping.